All right, welcome back. M-Dog here, and we're going to, as I mentioned yesterday, we're going to try this same spot again. Kessler's herring, see if we can get a little more dialed in. We're clipped at 7. We're going to go back down to, what were we doing, 80 depth, I believe. And the only other change I've made is I've gone to a 4.3 fluorocarbon leader. Now, I had to craft this myself. I don't think they sell classic fluorocarbon leaders that are this size. So I have made one myself because I wanted to have a little bit more power without going all the way up to 5 something. I've also put a 4.3 on this one. We're using 18 hook, and I think I need to change the first line to 18 hook actually. So we'll do that here in just a second. Hopefully we're a little more dialed in now. We may make a few adjustments as we go today, but I think we're closer to being dialed in, and hopefully we'll see some pretty good fish today during this session. If not, then maybe we're not as dialed in as I was thinking we were. We made about 91 silver yesterday doing this, so the hope is we can top that a little bit, right? All right, Kessler's herring. I'm not even sure if that was a mark. I just saw that this one was underwater too, so I wanted to get it. All right, that was not a marker. So that's one thing we want to be watching, is what percentage of markers are we getting? I sent myself some hooks from my alt account. I realized that a lot of my hooks I had sent over to that account as I was trying different stuff back in the day. So let's do this with an 18 hook now, which I feel like is probably around the sweet spot. All right, so this depth is 80, and the key with this one is we just don't want to cast this very far. A little farther than that maybe, but we want to get this one even closer to the shore, I think, just so that we can see what's working the best. Yeah, that was quick. And so it may be that we even do less than 7 meters on the other one. All right, that is a marker. Oh, that's not going to be far enough. That was a marker. Yeah, let's back that other one down to 6 meters maybe, if that continues at least. 6 meters. We can do 6 meters. So even a little closer. We are at day, I don't even know what, of me needing to get a haircut. This social distancing. I think we're about to get a bite on our match rod. Let's go ahead and reposition this one though. There we go. Just past the moss. I think that's perfect. And we'll reposition this one as well. Now, can you do 5 meter clip, or is 6 meter the closest you can do? Yeah, you can do a 5 meter clip. So this is as close as of a clip we can get. If we need to get closer than this, then it's just like soft casting it, which is actually interesting and inconsistent. Is that a little perch? Might have been too close. I hope we can get this one. Uh-oh. That's what happens sometimes. I'm just going to keep rolling. I hate when that happens. And being frantic trying to switch between rods that quick. I think that's when it does happen. More often than not. Basically, it's like that open hand bug where you put something up too fast and try to grab something else, and I think the game has you somewhere in between, and it won't let you do anything. I'm not sure if there's a workaround in game. I think you just have to relog, but I don't know. That's been around for a long time. So, obviously last night I never got to making this second video on the Kessler's herring. I also never made it back to amber, which I hope to do after, you know, 1 or 2 more sessions here with the herring. But that's because I ended up streaming last night. A bunch of us were playing Smite together, which I hadn't played in years and years, and that was fun. And then I did do a little bit of Mountain Blade 2, which I'm still really into. It's really fun. Haven't really figured out how to do any more like YouTube content for Mountain Blade. Like I feel like it's kind of it's hard to do little like short videos because it's such a, you know, almost the best thing to do would be like a Let's Play campaign series, but man, that is intense. Requires a lot of commitment, and I'm just not sure that I'm there. That would really take away from, you know, the time that I have to do other stuff, but I don't know. Alright, and we're back. Everything should be still set up the same way. Yeah, I believe it is. Perfect. Let's start catching fish. We got to make up for some lost time here. We lost some of that early morning time. Only got 1 marker herring so far. Because we can't send stuff back and forth between our main account and our alt account anymore, well, at least not major gear. You know, we can't send gear back and forth unless it's purchased with gold. I'm a little less motivated to play on my alt account. I'm not sure how much I'll do that. So I am starting to send some of what I can send, like more expensive hooks. And, all right, let's do this without freaking out here. Try not to get that bug again. Missed it anyway. So like hooks, and I think there is 1 reel that I can send back to this account that was something I traded for that apparently had been purchased for gold at some point because it says that it's tradable. So there's a few things I'm going to send. I'm going to still have the alt account pretty much able to fish if I want to go back to, you know, ever doing a stream with 2 accounts or something like that. But yeah, it just doesn't seem like I'm not quite as motivated to do that these days. So I'm going to strip that account of some of the more valuable things that I can just to have it on this account. Hopefully as we go through the day here, there will be times of the bite rate picking up a little bit. So far it's been a little sluggish. Come on, do that again. Oof. We've done that twice in a row on our match rod. We've pulled it out too fast. Yeah, we're not getting bites at all on the float right now. You know what, let's change the leader length. I did have an awfully short leader on here. So we'll go to 25, give it a little bit more length and throw it out there a little more, see if that helps. There we go. Oh. We'll probably lose that one, but at least it got a bite. That was a little common roach, wasn't it? That was small. we don't see an increase soon, the other thing to try would be to go back to the 3.2 or 3.6 or whatever liters to see if that's actually changing the bite rate or the size of the herrings, but I don't know. We had that one bigger, I'm guessing it was a herring, but it could have been something else that just popped our leader yesterday. I was trying to avoid that, but still catch decent fish. Might not be possible. There we go. Oh, it came out. We're pulling a lot of hooks today. We do have that little happy hook in there. It's a cheaper hook. Could be the culprit. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the 17, but a nice hook, and then go to put the nice 18 on the match rod. I don't want to be pulling hooks all day on the fish. Not a good start to the day for sure. I have no idea what that achievement is. I don't even know I was logged into that. Perch. Okay, well, let's don't just sit here not catching good fish. Let's go back to 8-meter clip. Let's get it out there a little bit. We could also go back to 1 meter depth. I don't know if that would work better. That's a nice one. One close and one far. See which one does better. Yeah, our goal of getting over 100 silver on the herring is definitely at risk at this point. That's a nice one. There we go. Quick. That was quick. That was a smaller one, but that was nice fast bite. I'd rather be catching a lot of like high volume when float fishing with a reasonable amount of markers, because part of the whole reason for doing this, there's typically better ways to get silver, but part of the goal is to make a little bit of silver, but mostly to level up float fishing. So we want that bite rate to be there. Oh, that's another nice one if that's a herring. Yeah, that is what I'm talking about. So since we switched the hook and switched to a little farther back out there, we are seeing a much better result. The only other thing that has changed is the time of day. We're now to about 11:06 a.m. So we're moving into that early afternoon period here soon. All right, give me just a second here. There is a method to my madness. All right. Yeah, so now we're in, hold on, if I go to borderless gaming, I should be able to minimize that. And then if I go back to RF4, that kind of messed it up a little bit. I was going to check something here. Let me see what this looks like. We're going to try this. Y'all can let me know if you think that's going to be okay or not. The thing that I do need to do now is I need to get something up that I can switch to. Sorry, I will figure this out. Here we go. That still didn't work. That is weird. Is it because I closed out borderless gaming? I mean, I didn't close it. I'm not really sure what I've done here. Okay. Well, let's go back to full screen for now. Quit messing with things. And I'll work on it when I'm not recording. All right, let's get these fish going again. It is a little bit the slower part of the day. Hopefully, we can still get some bites, though. Excuse me. All right. Let's watch these floats. I'm going to get bite on one of them. I can feel it. Holy cow, we almost popped a leader. This is going to be a nice one. Over 500? Yeah, 878, guys. That is some good money right there. You know what we haven't seen at all today compared to yesterday is the other type of herring. The one that starts with a B that I can't remember the name of right now. That really jumps up your silver is if you catch a few of those more rare species of herring. You know, the Bregnicksken herring. I don't think that's what it is. That was a nice Kessler's we just caught, though. Well, we've got bites on both, but this one was a definite bite. We haven't caught, like, a good herring on this line in so long. I'm going to go back to 3.2 and just take a chance. So we've got a really small leader on our telescopic rod. We still have the slightly larger leader on our match rod. So the main thing that we're going to lose that costs some money are these nice Rage hooks. And what is that, like 50 silver? So if you lose them too often when you're fishing for something like this, that not only cuts into your profit, it could eat your whole profit, to be honest. So there's probably a middle ground. Like there's probably some decent hooks we could use for this task where I wouldn't feel like we're using cheap hooks, but I also wouldn't feel like we're using, 50 silver hooks. So maybe when we get back to town, I'll do a quick look and give a recommendation on that for what it's worth. All right, let's look at the Kesslers by weight. 6 markers, some pretty decent ones. I think we're doing pretty similar to what we did yesterday, to be honest. Maybe slightly better at this point, but I don't know. We really don't want to catch the sitchel as much. Because first of all, the sitchel can get really big and juicy. Can kind of scare you on these leaders. And the normal size ones, at least, are also just not worth that much. It's funny, we were catching those sitchels occasionally when we were going for those pontic shads as well at Donuts. Oh. Alright, don't do it too quick. There we go. That's a good one. I'm glad we caught that one. That is a very nice one. So we also got points in bottom feeding there. Float fishing. And we are now up to 63.8. It's like almost like 100% certainty. If you have to wait too long on pulling the other rod, it's going to almost always just pull right out of that mouth of the fish. Another nice fatty fish here, but it's an eyed, not what we're going for. And once again, we're going to miss this fish. So you can see that the amount of production we're getting on our second rod, it's not nothing, but it's, you would have to question, is it worth it? Is it better just to focus, especially if you had something you could like feeder fish right here with any sort of success? I mean, I guess I haven't tried just like putting worms in or something. I mean, heck, one thing we could try, let's just focus on this one thing for a second here. Let's just go to basic bottom with a quiet indicator, and we need a river. What kind of line do I have on? I've already got the line, so we don't need that. Let's go with like a 20 hook, and let's put these mayfly larvae on. Not the larva, the mayfly. And what's the clip at? 20? That's fine. Now let's do like 15. So kind of similar place that we're fishing here, just a little bit past it. And let's just see if we catch anything on that. The only thing I want to do is move it so that it's not in our way. Alright. Might as well do a little test, I guess. Okay, now we're coming into what should be some good fishing time. You can now see the time and the weather. That's why I moved the camera, as I was like, you know, for these videos, people are going to be curious about the movement of time and also what the weather was like this day. But having the camera lowered a little bit on the left side, you can still see the bait that I'm using, which also could be important if someone is just watching a brief amount of the video and they're not hearing me talk about it much. The other thing I could do is shrink the camera some. No one really cares about seeing me anyway. So there's some other things we can look at doing. Basically, I'm just using the same setup I do when I stream for just ease on my part, but we'll see. All right. I think that did give us a point in float fishing, which is always nice. Yeah, we're at 63.9 now, almost to 64%. Yeah, I definitely pulled that too soon, but you never know. Overall, when it gets that little half pull, it's probably not worth doing. Now that should be a good one in terms of catching the fish. When it goes all the way down like that, I don't miss the fish near as often. Excuse me. I was out playing Can Jam with my daughter a little while ago. I'm not sure if I know the pollen is really crazy right now, but next time I rotate that float rod, telescopic rod, I might go ahead and change the depth on that one. We'll keep the main one, the match rod, at 0.80 or 80 centimeters, but because it's doing pretty good. I feel like we've caught most of our markers, some pretty decent fish off of this one. So I don't necessarily want to change it, but I might go to a little bit shallower depth on the other one just to see if anything changes. As we catch a decent fish here. Maybe I shouldn't change it. That's a nice one, but I still am. I want to get some different readings. So we're going to go all the way up to 50 centimeters, so a lot more shallow. And the other thing to try would be to go deeper again. Fish at around like 1 meter. I mean, they're all over the place here. We've caught them in all these different depths. It's just trying to figure out, like, is there a more dialed in depth or range? Yeah, that's just pointless. This feeder is not doing anything. Let's go to worms. See if there's anything else out in this fishing area. No ground bait though. It'd be nice to have some kind of ground bait probably if we're going to fish with worms. Even just some sort of basic ground bait. But we'll just see if we catch anything. Yeah, it's already getting a nibble. So at least something to do when the herring slow down a little bit. Well, that's a nice little fish. I don't know what it is, but perch. Well, we know there's perch here, but we already knew that, didn't we? The herring have slowed down a bit. All right, let's go to 1 meter depth on this one. Again, this is the only one we're really moving much. Feeder's catching something else. Yeah, it feels like it's really slowed down on the herring for one reason or another. Is that another perch? I don't really want to sit here and catch perch. Maybe switch to something like pearl barley or bread even. Definitely get less perch on the bread. Okay. Now the difference here is this is at 1 meter now. Wow, we've got fish on all 3 lines. Which I don't care about the feeder as much. It'll sit there, but okay, that's not a perch. It's a white bream. I like that. I'm okay with catching a white bream. No perch allowed. Alright, I'm going to spend a couple minutes here just focusing on the 1 feeder and 1 match rod. No perch allowed, I said. The problem with switching to bread is if there's white bream, we're not going to catch white bream on bread. So that's probably not a good idea. I'm not sure this was a good idea either. I think we should keep both lines out. The bite's not fast enough. You can tell how good a bite rate is on whether or not you can handle 2 float rods. I feel like you can handle 2 float rods in this spot right now. There may have been a couple times where it forced us to miss a bite here or there, but it hasn't been bad. And there's been plenty of times where we're just sitting here staring at the floats, not doing anything. So like we got both of those fish out, so that was definitely worth it. Redworm may still catch perch, I guess, but I feel like it won't be as often as regular worm. So we'll see if that dials in a little bit better. That is brutal. A little overcast, temperature's a little warm maybe, but I don't know. We should be catching these Kesslers right now, especially this time of day. All right, that's a nice one. I think I almost did that too fast. I'm lucky I didn't get bugged out again there. Wow, that was quick. That's a good one. Oh, that's a real good one. And we got float fishing points. 64%. Perch. There you go. Let's just see what red worm caught. Now this caused us to miss a fish probably. Yep. Too quick on that one. I was actually too quick on that one. The match rod float is overtaking the other one. The waggler float. Yeah, that fish just looked like it was on there really good. Like it hooked itself, basically. That's a marker. Another point in float fishing. I know sometimes it feels like it takes a long time to level up types of fishing, float fishing, bottom fishing, whatever, but remember, once you level it up, you'll never have to do it again, you know, unless you do another account like I have, but man, we're getting some good ones. I guess it's the time, right? Like this like push till they'll all of a sudden just stop. But see, usually it's like this early in the morning too, I feel like, and we did not have that experience on this day. Nice. All right. Another nice one. let's try to get one more off this one, and then we're gonna be wrapping it up. You really should go to like, I don't know, 22, 2230, maybe even 2300. You can still catch these things, but I need to go. I'm gonna go hang out with the kids a little more. Tonight I'll possibly get one more video in. I just haven't decided if I'm gonna do this some more or maybe go back to Amber, or I might poke around on the forums or elsewhere, see if there's any other hot spots worth exploring, but we shall see. All right. Hopefully that'll be one last marker. Yeah, I like it. Okay, let's go see how we did. Not as good as I was hoping we would, but we had some moments of catching some nice ones. The silver's just not going to be there though, because we didn't get any of those rare species. And that might have just been RNG. Like, you might do this for a day and catch 4 or 5 of them. Like we did yesterday. I think we had at least 2 or 3 markers yesterday, if I remember correctly. But today, none. Today, none. Let's double check the cafe and then we'll see how we did. All right. Nothing on the cafe. 86 silver. It's okay. It's okay. It's not what I'd hoped for, but it's okay. All right. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time. Peace out.